Hello, welcome to my channel. I wanted to share this book with you that is, what, 60, 70 years old at least? Anyway, I've got this book, and I've got several of these books. Anyway, this one is called Hollywood Star Diet Book from 1955. So, and it begins by mentioning how we need to have some salt, but that it should be limited as it makes us hold on to water. And I don't know what things have changed and what things haven't, because there's been so many different diets. And even back then in this book, they're talking about fad diets. And this book, it came out, it was free. And I believe it was free. It says 25 cents, but it also says free. And it says Slim Mint Gum helps satisfy your cravings for desserts, sweets, and between meal snacks. So I think it may have been from Slim Mint. And it was one of those as seen on TV kind of things. You know how you still can buy products with that little square that say as seen on TV? Well, this was one of them. Okay. And, I do some Mandela Effect videos, and Brussels sprouts in this book was spelled Brussels with no S on the end, sprouts. So I thought that was interesting. Anyway, so it begins, and it talks about how we need some salt, we need iodine and things like that, but it should be limited as it makes us hold on to water, it said. And it also stated not to drink water at meal times, but instead between meals, so that it was 30 to 45 minutes apart from meals. And I was wondering, well, maybe that's because, if you're drinking water on meals and filling up on water, maybe you're going to be hungrier sooner, but I'm not sure why, because I don't think it said why, or I missed that part while I was reading it. Anyway, it also talks about learning to drink coffee or tea black, that's mentioned. And to me right now, if I'm drinking, I don't really like coffee unless it is full of cream and sugar, or, I don't really drink it. I usually just get like cappuccino mix and mix it with hot cocoa mix or something like that. And if I make tea, it's usually herbal tea, and I do put too much sugar in it, so I need to cut back on the sugar. Okay, and then at that time, smoking was a thing, right? Because remember, you used to could smoke in restaurants. Even, what was it, like 10, 15, it was like 10 years ago, we used to go into restaurants and they had sections where you could go in those sections and sit and smoke. And my son, moving from California, we lived in a southern state, he loved being able to go in that one room where everybody would sit and smoke, so that, you could eat and smoke. And he had never had hush puppies before. And that's a thing in the South. A lot of restaurants, you can order a basket of hush puppies to dip in tartar sauce. And he had never had those, and he absolutely loved those. Some places have them and they're pretty good, and sometimes they're not so great. Anyway, so at the time, I'm getting off topic. At the time, smoking a small amount of tobacco was said to help curb your appetite. So I found that interesting that it was in there. And it also stated that if you drink alcohol, that the body would reach to use those calories first before using the calories from the food you had eaten, even though it did say that it burned up those calories pretty quick. I thought that was really interesting too. And I don't know which things have changed since then, because that was 60, 70 years ago, a long time ago. But, 1955 compared to now, this is 2023. And I am really old, but I'm not quite that old, so I wasn't around then. There were charts. There was a daily calorie needs chart where mine would have been like 1,845 calories to 1,890 calories per day. And then it says to deduct 10% if you're inactive, and to add 10 to 20% if you're a very active person. And then it has a very lengthy calorie chart that's pages and pages of a calorie chart. And then it mentions that in order to lose 1 pound of weight, you need to do without 3,500 calories, and gave an example of consuming 600 less calories per day than your body required for 6 days to take off a pound a week, and then increasing your food intake to the figure in their chart. So then I'm thinking, well, does that mean 600 less calories per day of what I'm eating now, or 600 less calories per day of what I'm supposed to consume to have my weight. Does that mean instead of 1845 to 1890, I was supposed to consume 1,245 calories to 1,290 calories per day? I don't know, you know, and I wouldn't suggest anybody do that. I would go to a doctor and a nutritionist and ask them. But I thought that was interesting, right? Because I'm not sure which they meant. Anyway, and then it goes on to cover vitamins and their best sources. And I think they meant the 1245 to 1290. And like I said, this is 1955. So I would make sure that you go to a doctor or a nutritionist before you begin any diet. And certainly you don't want to begin one that's probably from 1955 because, you know, things change and they have different understandings and we learn things over the years. But I just love the book because, hey, it's from 1955 and I love old books, especially ones like from the 1800s and things. But haven't found one of those yet. But I probably have one in all these books. Anyway. It then goes on to cover vitamins and their best sources to help you try to incorporate such foods into your diet. And one of the diets that it mentioned was B1, so vitamin B1, and some of the things that was in, so fortified breakfast cereals, enriched cereal, green peas, beans, lentils, fish, sunflower seeds, yogurt, things like that. But it talks about different vitamins so that you can make sure that you try to incorporate those foods with those vitamins into your diet. I thought, wow, that's so important. That I think that every diet should do that. Every diet book, it would be wonderful if they listed different vitamins that your body needs, and then the foods that have the most of that vitamin, right? So then it has a list of low-calorie foods, which some of these I don't even know what they are, right? I've never had them, but it's interesting. So, and then it mentions high-calorie foods, which has avocado and salmon, which I thought was interesting because I thought salmon was a low-calorie food, right? And avocado has fat, but I believe it's supposed to be healthy fat, right? So anyway, I found that interesting because I didn't used to eat avocados. I just started, you know, ate them once in a blue moon, but lately there's this big old fad where you eat avocados with toast in the morning. So I got avocados and I've been cutting them and smashing them up and putting some lime juice on them because I like my avocados mixed with lime juice, lots of lime juice or lemon juice or both. And I put that on the toast with a couple of eggs. But anyway. And before I would normally, if I was going to do something like that, I would just eat toast with eggs for breakfast. But I don't eat enough fruits and vegetables, so I like to try to find ways to work them into my diet more now. And I was going to zoom out, so this will zoom out probably too far. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. So that you could see. If you wanted to see them all at once, you could. So, anyway, I thought that was so interesting, and I wanted to share that with you because here's this book from 1955, and it's a small little tiny book, but I absolutely loved it. Please feel free to leave comments and let me know what your thoughts are, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.